Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from Major League Baseball, NHL, and UFC, and professional golf, BetOnline remains the number one source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline's casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
This is your before and after story. Southeastern College can help you prepare for a secure and fulfilling career in the growing healthcare field. We offer a wide range of careers to choose from. So whether you want to be a medical assistant, medical billing and coding specialist, nurse, surgical technologist, or another healthcare career, we've got you covered. Become a vital part of a healthcare team and make a real difference. Southeastern College, your future is bright. Visit sec.edu to get started.
If you're looking to streamline your audio advertising buys and maximize your revenue, look no further than Triton Digital's programmatic audio advertising exchange, A2X. The private exchange consists of only licensed broadcasters and top-tier internet radio publishers, assuring the quality inventory and brand safety you can trust. Visit www.tritondigital.com to learn more.
It started out as an informative weekly newsletter for family and friends, but less than a year later, it had over 150,000 subscribers and was receiving constant criticism from the media. In the 15 years since its inception, it has made controversy just as important an ingredient to its brand as its countless revenue streams and its divisive founder. And this recipe has helped it become one of the most recognizable names in the wellness and lifestyle space. Even with bad press, it now has millions of followers and an estimated value of over $250 million. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Goop.
We're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa. Jon just took a big sip of Diet Coke as I did the intro. Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa.
I'm Jon.
I'm Marisa. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Can you believe it? It turned 2024 last night, and it literally felt like we're in the future. Like, it's such a weird year.
I've been saying it was 2024 for the past 6 months, so you're late to the party, baby.
Oh, I have not. I definitely have not. I'm like, wow, we are living in the future. And then I was like, well, in 21, 24, this will seem so old. And then I'm just sitting on the couch while everyone else is dancing and having fun, thinking about these things.
Just crunching the numbers?
Just crunching the numbers.
Do you have any big New Year's resolutions?
Okay, so do I? I was having a conversation with my friend last night, and she said she's not into resolutions anymore. The way she's approaching it is what's in for 2024, what's out for 2024. It seems that may be a popular thing people are doing right now.
In pickleball. I want to learn pickleball.
I'm surprised you say that because, okay, this is a little random. About a month ago, I was at the Christmas party for the Avatar production designer, and I ran into an old colleague who, since leaving Avatar, has become obsessed with pickleball. He talked about pickleball. He showed me pictures. He has pickleball outfits. He plays with his wife, loves pickleball. I promised him this year I would learn pickleball.
Oh, my God.
And next year at the party, tell him how it went. So
great.
I will join you on, I'm adding that to what's in for 2024. Maybe we'll do an episode on pickleball.
I can't wait to hit the courts with you. That's great.
Is pickleball a brand or is it a game?
You know, it's definitely a movement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely a movement.
That we're going to be a big part of.
Yeah, I guess that's it. What's in is pickleball. What's out is nothing. Everything's working perfectly. So I'm just going to keep everything the same.
My one note is the addition of pickleball. The rest will fall into place.
The rest is perfection. I mean, should I get a little healthier? Yeah, since I could barely breathe sitting down and trying to read the intro. Yeah, I should probably maybe do a sit-up or a lunge
That's
or a
what
hike.
pickleball's for, baby.
Yeah.
Pickleball will solve all of our problems.
You texted to hike today, and I didn't answer because I was working on this pod. I've been at home, traveling, very busy, didn't have as much time as I usually do to research.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you thought I didn't answer simply because I didn't want to hike.
Usually, whenever we ask you if you want to go on a hike, you have some kind of lame excuse. So I'm not going to say researching for the pod is lame because I do know you hold yourself to a very high standard of research quality.
Very high, Academy high, if you will. Television Academy high.
Your Emmy could get revoked should you underdeliver.
Yeah, if people are like, there wasn't enough facts.
Well, I am so excited to learn about Goop because this is a brand that I am familiar with, as we all are, maybe women more so than men, but
yeah.
I have very warm feelings towards Goop.
Before we get into Goop, I did want to show you something that I got when I was in Ohio.
Oh, my.
A very unexpected gift from my niece, Janie.
Oh, great.
And I literally flipped out. And I know you can't see it, but we'll maybe put up a video of it or a picture of it. She had made
oh my God.
our first official on-brand merch. I have a metal
is amazing
on-brand tumbler with our I literally I have goosebumps now, and I've known about it for a week. Like, I pulled it out of the bag and I was like, oh, like, what? Like, I was so confused. I love this so much. That is
amazing. You know what? This is so, like, fake it till you make it manifesting. Did you know that I told you the story that Ellen DeGeneres printed in her office, which obviously now she's...
Be nice.
People know she's bad.
Try to be nicer to people. Don't condescend people.
She made a fake magazine cover that said the Ellen Show #1 show in daytime, and it was, like, fake. And somebody was like, oh, that's great. You're #1 show. She was like, no, I, like, made that. That's fake it till you make it. So this is, like, you're manifesting a world.
You know who else
We're
did that?
so legit. We have a Tumblr.
You and I saw that in Hawaii. Andy Warhol, when he was very new to the scene and he worked in advertisement. He made advertisements for like magazines.
Yes.
He manifested. He made this big, I don't know if it was like a poster or what, with all the companies he wanted to work with. And that a lot of those ended up being what he did his fine art with.
So our pod, we're going to go heavy into merch this year.
So yeah, that was very exciting.
How nice.
So
That's
a big
awesome
shout out. Janie gets Fan Freak of the Week. I know that's nepotism, but she deserves it. I also, if we could indulge me a little bit, I do have a rant that I would love to. I don't want to start the year off with a rant, but I've got a rant.
We love your rants, John. We love your rants.
Delta
boy.
Airlines. This goes back to me leaving for Ohio. Okay, we've had conversations about self-checkout. You hate it.
Hate it.
My friend Christine hates it. She doesn't work at Target. She
I don't
doesn't
work
at Walmart. At least give me an apron. If I'm going to do it, give me a smock.
Take 5% off my tab.
Yeah, give me an employee discount, because why am I ringing it up? Okay, I have now experienced that to the extreme.
What happened?
When I travel, one of the little things I treat myself to is curbside check-in. It's the same as going inside, except it's a lot faster and you have to tip them. But I always do it. I get to Delta. There's no one at curbside check-in. I asked someone. I was like, hey, where's curbside? They're like, oh, there's no curbside. I'm like, you could see the curb. Like, it was there.
There's like
it's
a kiosk.
Like, the kiosk was still there. And it said curbside Delta. No one there. Like, you have to go inside. I'm like, what? So I go inside. It's all robots now. It's all like terminals. Like, we all have to, I had to go in there. I had already checked in online. I had to check myself in on this terminal, prints out this 7-foot sticker. I could not figure out what to do with this sticker. It's like, pull this off the sticker. I'm not even lying when I say I stood there for 4 minutes with other people. Like, I would love to have a drone view of 60 people just staring at this really long sticker with no idea what to do. I finally figure out what to do with the sticker.
What were you supposed to do with it?
You have to flip it over, pull off one little third of it, then loop it into your luggage, stick it like the Delta employees.
You know when you would have
do.
learned that? At employee training.
At employee training. At orientation. I didn't go to Delta baggage check-in orientation. So I get it stickered. And then I'm just looking around. I was like, I honestly have no idea what to do.
Now what?
I walk over to some guy. I'm like, okay, I've stickered my bag. What do I do now? He's like, go that way past the sign and just drop your bag off. And I'm like, okay. So I go over there. There's nowhere to drop a bag off. There's another woman standing there. I'm like,
wait, so there's not the desk with the person in the conveyor belt, they take your bag?
No.
That's gone?
We're getting there. So I talked to this woman by the sign. I'm like, what do I do now? Where do I go with this bag? She's like, go down the hall.
No.
Up an escalator, and you're going to drop your bag off there. Up an escalator. I've now gone from stepping outside of a curb, handing my bag and being done, to now I've got a half-day shift.
Honey, you got to earn your wings.
Yeah. So
Plop down at a Chili's too, honey. It's a long shift.
So I go up the escalator. There's one tiny little Delta woman standing amid chaos of all of these people trying to figure this out. I finally get to another robot. I have to put my bag on.
I'm imagining it's a robot like the Jetsons nanny.
It's not. I know. I keep saying robot. It's not. But
at least put like googly eyes on it or something. Make it a little whimsical.
Yeah,
so people are so mad that all of their like convenience is being robbed of them.
And instead of just big error signs, give me like a you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
But like I put it on this thing, and now it's supposed to measure it and weigh it. So it keeps giving me an error. It finally measures it, weighs it, tells me I did okay, and then I send it to the plane myself. Like I hit the button and the bag goes away. I've literally completely just done the job of a Delta employee. And I lost my mind. And this woman, people kept doing stuff wrong, and the woman would be like, "You're doing that wrong." And I'm like, none of us would be doing this wrong if someone from Delta, I was a Karen for 5 seconds.
So you said this out loud. This wasn't just internally you were losing your mind.
And I had the support of the entire airport. I did not look crazy. I don't know how long this system has been in place, but for me, it's like
this
Christmas Eve, and you're implementing this new system of us just doing it all. It's like, where do I check? Like, I assume I'm co-piloting the plane.
So what did you say? You're shouting out,
that was all I said.
This is unreal, and everyone's saying, yeah, he's right. Did they pick you up on their shoulders and march you around? You're now the king of the airport.
Everyone started opening their luggage and throwing their clothes in the air like confetti. No, all I said was this wouldn't be happening if someone from Delta was doing this.
Yes.
Why am I doing? And then I always throw in the like, my ticket was this much. Why am I doing this? The reason my ticket's so high is because I wait so long to buy them. Okay, end of rant.
Delta, though, best in-flight entertainment system. You know what American gives you? A clip to stick your phone in to watch a movie on your phone.
Honestly, I'm okay with that.
No.
I
want to choose from 6 movies from 15 years ago. I want to put the little plastic flimsy headphones in the little plug. That's my in-flight experience.
I love that I ranted on Delta, but you gave them a praise. We need a Brand-Aid for this, and I think that Brand-Aid is just bring people back.
Whatever it was 6 months ago, revert back to that. That's the Brand-Aid.
Because you know what it made me realize is they didn't just say, hey, maybe for this weekend we'll have people check in. This looked like it was 4 years of meetings and $1 billion to do what I just did. And it's the future. And as someone who comes home from Ohio with several cans of Skyline chili, my bag is usually overweight. Yes. I flash a little money to the curbside guy and they'll let the extra weight go.
Wait, what?
I flash a little money to the curbside guy. What's everyone laughing for?
If your bag is too heavy,
I flash a little money to the curbside.
Bribe the valet?
Yeah.
What? That's not allowed.
Babe, I've been doing it for years. I flashed a little money to the curbside guy.
Okay, people who can't see, Jon is doing a little like finger rub, kind of little cash symbol, like very seductive. How much money are we talking? $5.
$5.
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Well, it works. I am allowed. All they have to do is put it on. Once it's on the conveyor belt.
Maybe that's why they had to make this the system, because the computer doesn't take your little tippies.
You know what I'll say to this? I don't have the one time I had to go into the counter and do this, and I couldn't flash a little money to the curbside guy. And I had to go to someone at the counter and like, your bag's 51 pounds. I had to get on my knees, go through my bag, pull out a shoe.
That's what we all do. We dig through our bag.
Shoe.
Like animals, pull out a shoe, stick it in our purse.
Throw a dirty shoe into my snack bag. And then travel for 6 hours. I'm happy flashing a little money to the curbside guy.
Well, you remember my devastation last year when I tried to bring fudge on an airplane, and they informed me
it's
that
a liquid.
Fudge is a liquid.
It's a liquid. They took away my Dolly Parton frosting, too, because they said it was a liquid. I think all those TSA people just have sweet teeth.
Would flashing a little money have let us keep our fudge and frosting?
Money doesn't work with TSA. Money doesn't work with TSA. And I haven't even tried. I just know that it doesn't. But I was like...
I would love to see you try to get your Dolly Parton limited edition frosting through TSA by flashing a little money.
What you would love to have seen is me knowing that there's a fine Karen line I have to balance between being mad at her and getting kicked out of the airport.
Yes.
Because I really lost my mind. I had to go to like 3 Krogers to find the Dolly Parton frosting.
Oh, of course.
And then it's sealed. What does she think it is? It's sealed.
Honey, this was an artisan fudge from Zingerman's. I could have burst into tears. I said, at least eat it. This is what I was telling the TSA person. I said, don't put it in the trash. I said, this was really expensive fudge. At least eat it.
I like that your answer is at least eat it, and mine is I know you're gonna eat it. As soon as I leave, you're just gonna get a spoon and eat this.
Oh, boy.
All right, that felt good.
Holiday travel. I'm sure everybody listening, they can relate. If it wasn't that, something annoying happened at an airport if you had to travel over the holidays. That's just kind of part of it.
Yeah. And it's all part of it, and I'm glad that it's over, and we're all back. New year, new us. Oh, I don't know if you remember in your last show, I did an Easter egg that we were doing goop because I told you a story that I couldn't return the Santa Claus hat because I'd gotten hair goop in it. Alistair knew I was doing it. It worked out perfectly. You even ended up saying goop. I was like, as soon as I say goop, she's going to know. But you were too dumb to figure it out.
Goop, it's so funny. I don't associate you with Goop, which is funny because a friend of yours worked at Goop.
I have a good friend.
I want her to be my friend, too. But
Caitlin, she wants to be your friend, too. She's like, how come I've never hung out with Marisa? It's like I'm keeping you guys apart because I don't know what will happen.
That we'll team up against you.
Yeah. Nothing good can come from Caitlin and Marisa meeting. But I do have a good friend that worked at Goop for a long time. She was Gwyneth Paltrow's personal chef. I'm not biased on how I'm doing the show. I did reach out to her. She really didn't give me very much information about it, but she knows I'm doing this, and I hope that she
We have her
enjoys
blessing,
it.
I hope.
We have her blessing.
Great.
Not only I hope I have her blessing for this. Gwyneth Paltrow came to her wedding. And Caitlin sat me at Gwyneth Paltrow's table because she knows that I have dealt with celebrity before and I wouldn't embarrass her.
Yes, you wouldn't be a bumbling fool.
Right,
in
like,
the
oh my
presence of a
God, I
star.
loved you in Shakespeare in Love. I mean, all I did was say hi. We had no conversation. It was kind of sad. I was
what a
hoping
bummer.
to get a little GP time.
Yeah. Well, maybe now that the pod is going to be a huge hit, maybe she'll be clamoring to sit at your table.
Oh my God, what a full circle moment when she's
that.
literally begging me to sit at my table. Okay, so here's some questions I think we're tackling in this episode.
Great.
Is Gwyneth Paltrow a well-intentioned human trying to help other people by giving them suggestions on how to live, love, travel, dress, and have sex? Or is she just a radiant actress turned cult leader? I know where I stand.
She's accused of being a radiant actress turned cult leader?
I mean, she was a radiant actress.
Yes.
And Goop is very culty.
Is it culty? Interesting. I'm defensive of the ethos of Goop because I feel like it's tongue-in-cheek. You know what I mean? Like the criticism of it, when I think of Goop, I think of somebody who's very affluent, touting this luxury lifestyle as like my recommendations. This candle, it's a $250 candle. These cashmere socks, they're $300 socks. These are not meant to be like making the everyday person feel bad. To me, it's like there's a cheekiness to it. It's like she knows that's the character she's portraying.
Right.
So she's in on the joke, I believe. Yeah.
I think she is to a degree. Yeah.
To a degree.
I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow is an evil person.
No, I don't think she's evil.
She might be a cult figure by accident.
Yes, I don't think that's her intention.
Yeah.
Like the candle that smells like her vagina.
Okay, we're getting
We'll
there.
get there. But I mean,
there.
that's like, to me, that's the perfect example of like, people are like, she's so egotistical. She made a candle that smells like her. It's like, that's obviously a joke.
She thinks her vagina smells like bergamot.
Yours would smell like fig because you love fig candles.
I thought you were going to say fish. I mean, to be honest, they should all smell like fish, right? We'll get to that. I have thoughts on the vaginal candle. Great. Other question, is Goop a practical solution for hundreds of thousands of people that follow it? And is it aspirational or unobtainable? Can people really reach these things? You've already kind of answered that a little bit. It's tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Some things you can, some things you can't. These are just things to think about.
Think about this as you're driving.
So celebrity selling products is not a new thing. Something that's a little newer at this time is celebrities kind of selling themselves.
Yes.
But she's not just like, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow and I use this vacuum bag. It's like...
Vacuum bag?
I don't know what she does.
I would love a vacuum bag recommendation from a star.
Are these the Gwyneth Paltrow bags? But they're kind of selling themselves. They're
Yes.
like, this is my life. This is what I do, which I also have issues with. Like, that's something with celebrity things. Like, Martha Stewart, she did this before Gwyneth.
Yes.
She has a whole line, millions of lines of everything, bedding, kitchen, everything. I do not believe for 1 second that Martha uses her own products.
So she is kind of doing the opposite of Gwyneth, where she is using herself as the face of the company, but she's creating things that are more accessible at an affordable price point, when really Martha Stewart herself probably wants the highest of luxury. She doesn't want the bed in a bag stamped with Martha Stewart living that you can pick up at Kohl's. She wants, the fanciest of everything.
Right. And I think with Martha, it's kind of like, because we did watch her garage sale show 3 times. She finds like a cool thing and then makes a poor man's version of it. So we have like the sad version of what she has.
Yes. And Gwyneth isn't doing that. She's not coming out with the sad version. She's like, this is what I like. You can't afford it? Get rich, honey. And like, that shouldn't make us feel bad. It's just like, wow, that's a wild life. You're that rich, you spend that much money on socks?
I know.
That's crazy.
I was looking at a photo shoot of her in some article last night. And for each photo shoot, everything she had on had the price on it. And it was like, each photo is like a $55,000.
It's just silly.
Ensemble to put together.
The new NBA and MLB season is in full swing, and BetOnline has you covered with the best odds and biggest promotions and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. Head to BetOnline today to stay updated on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
All right, so you can't talk about Goop without talking about Gwyneth Paltrow. So let's talk about Gwyneth Paltrow for a bit. Do you have any thoughts on her? When I was thinking about her...
Sliding doors.
Sliding doors is a big one for me. Sliding doors became like a forever part of my life. Anytime something big or weird happens in my life, I always imagine the sliding doors version of it.
You see the version of you that like left London and has like a little brown haircut.
I always pick the wrong path. Mine's always like,
for Gwyneth, the little brown haircut was the wrong path.
Oh, okay. I don't really remember the movie. I just remember the concept. I thought the concept was brilliant.
Yes, she walked in on her husband cheating, or she didn't, and so it was like, which way did her life go? So it's a fun thought experiment of like those fork in the road moments.
Every moment has a consequence that could lead you into different paths in life.
And she's great in the movie. I think she's a great actress.
But what I was going to say is I don't really associate a lot of actors with a time period. But when I think of Gwyneth Paltrow, I definitely think 90s.
For sure, yes.
Like that was her heyday. In 1998 alone, she had Great Expectations, Sliding Doors, Hush, A Perfect Murder, and Shakespeare in Love, which she won an Oscar for. She had 5 films come out in that year. I was trying to imagine what I did that year, and I'm sure it was much less.
Shakespeare in Love winning the Oscar, wasn't that like a tube top light pink dress and a slicked back side part bun?
It was the pink dress.
I mean, isn't that like crazy? It's like that's in my mind permanently.
Not really, because it is considered a fashion iconic moment because it brought pink back to the fashion world.
Wild.
Pink had died, and now people are like, oh, pink. We forgot about pink.
People are so cute.
People are
that,
stupid.
like, something that silly is like, wow, Gwyneth Paltrow, that dress is quite lovely. I think pink is back.
Pink is back. And then next year, everyone will be pink. And then 2 years, just a couple sad people will be pink. And then pink is gone again. New York Times, Pink is dead. Not the singer.
Until Doja Cat can bring it back.
Exactly. Okay. I would like to take a moment.
Okay.
This made me stop in my tracks.
Okay.
Gwyneth Paltrow was so hot in the 90s.
How hot was she?
She was one of 2 people that were considered to play Rose in Titanic.
Oh my God.
It came down to Gwyneth and Kate. Some stories say she turned it down. Other people say that they just went with Kate. I don't know the true story. But talk about a Titanic tie-in. Funny thing, apparently Kate Winslet turned down Shakespeare in Love. They went on to do each other's projects. Kate was nominated.
Talk about a sliding doors where Kate Winslet was in Shakespeare in Love and Gwyneth Paltrow was in Titanic.
It's like a real
it's
sliding
like the
doors.
butterfly effect. Like the world would be upside down if that were our reality.
Matt Damon could play Gwyneth Paltrow.
He's got to weasel his way here somewhere.
Got to get him in there somewhere.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. Okay, so she's done all of her movies. She's still doing movies in the 2000s. Her career is kind of a little winky wonky. She blames the Oscar as some people do. Once you win an Oscar, sometimes it's hard to like keep that level of success.
A little curse.
2002, her father died. He had been battling cancer for a long time. He died when she was only 30 years old. He was only 58 years old. It had an incredible impact on her. Like, it shattered her to her core. And what she much later said about it was that she felt very guilty that he had throat cancer, that she did not do more to help him. Like, he was a smoker, he was a drinker. She wished that she had figured out like better diet for him, wellness stuff.
Interesting.
This is kind of the
Health.
spark of, are there things that we can do in our life that would prolong our life even if we have a horrible illness?
Interesting. Wow.
And that was something, and this is only 6 years before she starts Goop.
Wow. So that gives her a pretty genuine motivation to be in this kind of wellness
Yeah.
space. It's less like a shystery and more like a genuine, earnest concern for, health and
It's
longevity.
like, how can I prevent someone else from having to go through what
Yeah.
I went through? I found that a lot more touching than I was expecting.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's enter Goop. What do you know about Goop? What comes to mind with Goop? You're kind of into wellness. I know you teeter on wellness because you also really like sweets. So you're not like, I'm all in, like I don't eat anything bad, but you also really care about health. And
Yeah, I think I try to strike a good balance of, a lot of French fries, but then also like vitamins. I'm on AG1, which is this vitamin drink, this vitamin powder, which people might know about. So like little things, I try to do a
what is
little
that?
balance. It's like a green juice basically that you make at home. Yeah, so I try to do a balance. So Goop has always been on kind of my radar. I've subscribed at various times. I know it's like a newsletter, and they have recommendations of various lifestyle products or wellness products.
I think a lot of people, I made a joke several episodes ago that there's certain things where people have like one nugget about it that they always throw out. Bjork with her swan dress. I do think with Goop, a lot of people, it is the vagina egg or the vagina candle. It's a very vagina forward company.
It's a big part of her brand.
Created by a vagina for all the other vaginas out there. But I think a lot of people probably think about that.
What?
Sorry, for the first time, I wrote a joke in here I wanted to tell, which I've never done before, and now I'm reading it. You can't really do that. Now I'm reading the joke, and I'm blushing to myself, because I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to do that
Okay,
joke.
let's hear it.
Okay, so a lot of people don't know this about Goop, but it started in 2008 when Gwyneth was a very young girl, and she would go around to the neighborhood and hand out handfuls of Goop to her wealthy friends. And who knew that was the beginning of this empire?
Isn't that the story?
Isn't that
it's
always the
the story. Traveling door to door with a handful of Goop, and of course, now she's a billionaire.
Of course, now she's a multimillionaire. Everyone's like, why didn't I think of that? I've got Goop at home. I could have done that. Okay, that joke worked.
Thank
I'm
you
happy
for your
with
dumb
that.
joke.
Thank you. Oh, and then I even wrote, but seriously.
But seriously, this is not how you talk.
I know.
But
I was
seriously,
so tired
folks.
when I was putting this together. But seriously, folks, thank you so much. Pause for applause. All right, but seriously.
It's like you're off the strip in Vegas, like doing your stand-up act, your variety show.
Okay, so it's 2008, and Gwyneth...
11 years after Titanic.
She's had to now live for 11 years with the regret of the Titanic debacle. She starts this weekly online newsletter from her kitchen in London, and it's really just like, I don't know if you've seen the first one. There's like a recipe for banana nut muffins. There's a recipe for turkey ragu. It's basically, she says it's like a personal experiment for like family and friends. She sends it out to them just to, talk about her life. Each one has, a glimpse inside of Gwyneth, which I will say is those sorts of things. I guess every actor probably has to be narcissistic in some degree.
Yeah, I think
we
so.
are. We're
Yeah.
narcissists thinking that what we're saying is important to anybody.
People want to listen to us yammer on about Delta for 20 minutes.
Oh, don't get me started on Delta. But yeah, so that's all it was. And then I'm sure you've probably heard about how the name came to be. She was working with a branding expert, Peter Arnell. He told her that successful internet companies have double O's in them. I don't know if he's only talking about Google. I don't know.
He's like, successful companies, they have a double O, like Google.
And
Google.
Like Google.
Like
You've
Google.
heard of Google, right? It's incredibly successful. So if you want to be like Google, why don't we take your initials and squeeze in a 00, and that's how we'll come to Goop. So that's what she did. Again, a little narcissist using her initials, but that's okay.
GP.
Yeah.
Wow, I never put that together.
Yeah, it's just Gwyneth Paltrow with 2 O's stuck in the middle of it. She wanted a nonsensical word. She wanted to mean nothing and anything.
Even that, though, is kind of funny. Like, goop is kind of like a not sexy, luxurious, it's not like a high status sounding word.
No, it's like moist. It's like kind of a gross thing
exactly.
or a product.
So I think that's kind of her little sense of humor creeping in.
And I don't know if the 00 rule still applies. I guess if you started a company, it'd be Moop. If I started one, it'd be Juge. We could try it. Juge.com. Alistair would be ow.
Ow.
Oh, that's kind of namaste.
Yeah, it kind of is.
So, yeah, maybe we should buy those domain names before the fan freaks quickly grab them. So she starts the newsletter in 2008. In January of 2009, which is why I did this episode now, she did her first detox, which became like an annual after holiday January detox that she does.
Is it like a juice cleanse?
It's basically an elimination diet, but it's done on short term. So there's some people that are like, it's a 5 or 7 day thing. Like, is that really enough time to do it? She consulted with her doctors. There's chicken in it. So it's not just in the first one. The one for this year hasn't come out yet. Last year's came out January 5th. I was hoping that it would come out today.
Wow. So every year it's like a new updated one.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of benefits to it. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm sure it's just like a healthy way of eating, probably.
And I think this is probably true to how she actually lives. Like, this feels like true to her lifestyle. It's authentic to Gwyneth Paltrow. Whether or not you want to be like her, that's up to you to decide. But it's not like she's selling something that she doesn't actually do or believe in. You know what I mean?
Right. And when I was reading about the first one, I think she even said in it something like, I don't want to be on like just a lemon water diet. So she talked to her doctor, like, what's a good cleansing detox I can do that's not just nothing?
Yeah.
And that's how she came to come up with that first
I know
one.
a fact about Gwyneth Paltrow. She smokes 1 cigarette a week in the bathtub. An American spirit.
I feel like you read that in like 1994. She's like, honey, I haven't done that since 1995.
I swear. This was not that long ago. So maybe it's the balance. Like, she does these cleanses and then she smokes 1 cigarette a week.
I also love, as an ex-smoker, that it's an American spirit, which is like the cigarette that notoriously takes like 45 minutes to get through one.
But it's still just one.
But just one. Takes me half a day.
That's like me being like, I eat 1 piece of cake a week. The piece of cake is 12 by 14 inches.
I have 1 Diet Coke a day. It's a 3-liter. They don't even make 3 liters. Oh, and I tried to go to the Wayback Machine, and her website doesn't work with it because of some sort of flash issue, which really made me sad.
She scrubbed it.
But in that first one, and I don't know if she still does it, she also gave bowel advice. If your bowel movements aren't...
Wow.
I know. It was a lot. I was like, she's gone from like red carpet darling and pink dress to like, if you're pooping weird, drink a cup of castor oil and it'll slide right through.
God.
That was actually the advice. If your bowel movement gets sluggish, you can accelerate things by drinking half a cup of castor oil or using a mild herbal laxative.
Wow.
Bowl elimination is paramount for correct detoxification.
This is intense. And it does feel like it's like your friend who's just like, oh, you can't poop? You have to do my thing.
Right.
Like, it feels like this is just how she talks to her friends and family.
Yeah,
It is nice to
absolutely.
feel like you're getting an authentic-ish slice of somebody who is so bizarre and
Yeah, I know. It's
famous.
like, I can relate to her. She poops too. I do. Yeah. I do that. I know a lot of people are like, if you're scared of someone or like scared to do something, picture them naked. If I feel like I'm building someone up too much in my mind, I do picture them going to the bathroom because we all literally, like, I've done it with Taylor Swift. Like, I'm like, she's too big for her britches.
What? You'll be thinking Taylor Swift is too big for her britches?
Well, no, like,
So you
but like
imagine
she's
her
so
on the
famous,
toilet?
but I'm like, she's just also just a person that goes to the bathroom. And like, people like put her on such a like high pedestal. We're all just normal people that poop.
I think she is too big for her britches.
She is too big for her. She's like, what are britches? All All right, so 2009, it really does explode. Within less than a year, she's got 150,000 subscribers. But she's also, from the get-go, getting criticism. People are like, why is this actress giving us a banana nut recipe? We don't need it. Who is she to tell me how to poop? Like, why am I listening to her? There was so much, like, negativity about it. There was even articles about why is she getting so much negativity. It was kind of a mysterious thing.
Yeah, that's really strange. She's just kind of giving advice from her point of view. So, and she's not asking people for money or anything. So, like, what is the
Not yet,
sinister?
yeah.
Not yet. It's just like her, like,
It's
if you
just
want
like-
to know how I poop, this is how I do it.
This is
People
how
are
I do
mad
it.
at her about that?
Yeah.
Free poop advice in this economy? I mean, that's good as gold.
Yeah, I know. I agree. But then someone did make a comment that they were like, a lot of people want to live like a celebrity, but they don't want a celebrity to tell them how to live.
Interesting.
So there might have been pushback from that.
How would you learn how to do it then if no one tells you how?
Spy. Hide in the bushes.
It's the only way.
Sneak a peek. And she was also, already kind of giving advice that people are like, what is she talking about? Like in one of the early newsletters, she was talking about eliminating all white food. And people are like, what are you doing? Like, that doesn't make sense. So I think there was probably some justifiable criticism too. But it did seem a little heavy-handed for what she got.
It's hard to sometimes, if people are known for one thing, it's hard to give them credit or assume that they're knowledgeable in any other field. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's something I kind of have for like at the end of this, like my overall thought of it is I think a lot of people believe if someone is a celebrity, they know everything because they've reached this pinnacle that no one else has or that you haven't. So you will take their advice on anything because obviously they're smarter than you.
Yeah.
And in my conclusions, which we'll get to, I'll just say, sure, go ahead and look at what celebrities do. If it's something you like, do your own research on it to see if it makes sense for you to do.
Or spy.
Or spy. Gwyneth did have a quote during this time about her reaction to all the negative feedback that she got. And she said, people get a hit of energy when they are negative about something and they do not understand why they do not have a happy life.
Ooh.
I know.
Delta,
that came
yikes.
off a little harsh.
Delta, yikes, Delta.
What does Delta mean?
Saying, listen to her quote. She's saying that you're mad about Delta because you don't have a happy life. And you get a hit when you're negative about something.
Wow. I did not know this was going to hit so close to home.
Are you changing your tune, how you feel about her?
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, in your defense, she's probably never been inconvenienced at an airport.
No. Because she also gives advice on, like, make a reservation at this restaurant. And people are like, that's a restaurant for celebrities that you're not allowed to make a reservation
for
at.
sure.
There's definitely things she doesn't know that we can't
Just
do.
have your driver drive you directly to your private plane.
Yeah, just have Caitlin make you a quick meal when you're on the go. Caitlin doesn't work for everyone. She's yours. 2011, she published a cookbook called My Father's Daughter, delicious, easy recipes celebrating family and togetherness. So she's folding her father back in, having him be a part of this. She's still not monetizing anything. We're a year away from that. She doesn't monetize Goop until 2012. I mean, I guess she's monetizing having this book, but that's, I mean, she's just selling a book, but it's not like a...
She's still living off her Shakespeare in Love cash.
Yeah. So 2012 is a big year. That's when Goop introduces e-commerce. It's been 4 years since she started the newsletter. They start off with one item. They have a t-shirt. They did a collaboration with Kane Label. It was a $95 t-shirt, sold out quickly because of course it did.
Even that, like a $95 t-shirt. It's like...
In 2012.
Yeah.
But $95, even in 2012, it's like just enough where you're like, okay, she's rich and famous. Like, of course it's going to cost a little more. 95, it's like, I won't go to Starbucks a few times, but that'll let me get the shirt. It's not like I have to like save up weeks.
How big are your Starbucks orders? A few times at Starbucks? How many pumps you getting?
You know, I get a couple pumps. I get a Trento with 45 pumps.
It's like 2 trips to Starbucks.
You know, that's what people always throw out when you need to save money.
Yes.
Cut back on a little Starbucks.
Yeah.
But it's obtainable. It's like, I don't want to spend it, but I will to have this life.
And she's saying something with that. She's not making a $20 shirt. She says, you know what? This shirt isn't for everybody and I'm not for everybody.
So then that kind of set off the whole like website selling things. They started doing collabs with different brands each week. Everything's selling out. And that was the beginning of their e-commerce business. They now sell hundreds of brands. They have their own brands. They have pop-up shops that started in 2014. They did something very interesting with those where for each pop-up shop, they would get like a bunch of different collaborators, sometimes up to 10. They would put in the money. So like knowing that they would have the Goop recognition. So Goop is kind of given like a very safe net to like have this little shop.
And so are these Goop brand things, or is this like she's kind of curating a product line?
At first, she's curating things.
Okay.
In 2016 is when they start doing Goop brand
I
stuff.
see.
That's when they have a Goop beauty line. The fanciest one of those, of course, sold out. It was $125. They started a Goop clothing line. So that's in 2016. In 2017, they started having retail stores, and now they have 5 of those. They've got them in New York. They have them here in California. They have one in Hawaii. It just kept growing and growing and growing. 2017 was actually a big year for them because it's also the year they started the In Goop Health Wellness Summits. Have you heard about these?
Yes.
Now, this is where it feels like it could be a kiss culty.
A kiss, yeah.
You have a very high price tag.
How much?
It varies from $650 to $4,500 for the day.
Wow.
$4,500. And now you're kind of in that, I'm a collector. I know what that vibe is like. It's like,
Yes.
you can get the swatch that is basic for this price, but for just a little more, just push yourself, have 700 less Starbucks, then you can have this nicer swatch. And I'm always want the nicer swatch.
Is the more expensive one, do you get to like meet Gwyneth?
You
Is
hug
it like
her.
you
get a hug her and
you
you're
get
allowed
one
to pick
hug?
her up once. You can't shake her, though. There's a no shaking rule.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, I honestly didn't do the breakdown. I think you probably get a better room, and maybe I could see there being an exclusive like Q&A or something.
That's a lot of money for
an
like,
afternoon. Because I'm picturing, because you and I went to the Oprah Make Your Life Better 2 weeks before COVID hit.
one of the greatest afternoons of my life. A very sad planner for the 2020 year that Oprah gave us, where it was like, write down all your goals. It was kind of like a journaling planner.
I had actually written down, I don't know if I ever showed you mine, I wrote down stay at home for 3 years. So I did what happened.
Yeah. So I know the experience, and that can be a positive thing, to be like surrounded by people who are all motivated to get healthy or to encourage, inspire, to see speakers who are inspirational. We saw J-Lo. We were very inspired by J-Lo.
Were we? I wanted Michelle Obama.
No, we did. We weren't too excited to see J-Lo.
We weren't too excited about it.
Yeah, but I can see the value in that. But that is really expensive. And I mean, gosh, that must be some really good poop advice for $4,500.
$4,500. So this is what they say about it. Guests at In Goop Health are treated to panel discussions with industry experts. I love that the second thing is kombucha. Kombucha. Cool. That should be like last. And free kombucha.
Yeah.
And healthy food. The event isn't for everyone, with tickets ranging from $650 to $4,500.
Wasn't it so funny? We got swag bags from our Oprah event.
Yeah.
And it's funny that it was like kombucha and all, whatever kind of wellness swag that was in Gwyneth's bag. Ours had like 2 kinds of deodorant and like a giant stick of Vaseline.
I forgot that we got Vaseline. What did she want us to lube up?
I don't know, but we were sweating because Julianne Hough had us up and dancing.
Yeah, we did have a dance segment, but we also got free Panera box lunch.
There was a little Panera box lunch, and all the restrooms had been converted into women's restrooms.
Except one's men room, which was like 4 miles away.
Yeah, you were really unhappy about that.
And I have a loose bladder, so that wasn't so fun.
This better have been good swag. This better have been good kombucha.
I don't think they were, because I did find some complaints about it. And of course, there's always going to be complaints. So, take it with a grain of salt. But one person wrote that they felt like it was a subpar experience, with one reportedly labeling the actress a extortionist and claiming the weekend was less of a summit and more of a sales pitch. They went on to say, Gwyneth acts like she's a health goddess, but actually she's a pretentious, greedy extortionist, an attendee told the New York Post, page 6. She had a ton of security. She was unapproachable. She did the minimum, a few fireside chats with Twiggy and Penelope Cruz. Then she put on her Birkenstocks and snuck out.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I believe all that. I mean, I feel
that.
like even just saying she did a few fireside chats, like, what are you expecting? Like a few.
In one afternoon?
In one afternoon. She only did 9 fireside chats.
That's a long time by a fire.
Why do you hate Birkenstocks? At least they weren't Uggs.
Yeah, or Crocs.
So there was mixed feelings about it.
That's a bummer.
2017 also showed us the introduction of the Goop magazine. From what I could tell, there was 4 issues. It didn't last very long. It was a $20 magazine.
Yeah, that's tricky. I love magazines. I deeply mourned the end of the print.
You deeply mourned
Magazine.
O Magazine. I know. You were genuinely sad when they announced that.
Like, irrationally devastated, because to me, a magazine, it's like, well, sure, all that information's on the O.com website. I'm like, that's not what we read magazines for. We want to be like curled up holding paper, okay?
Yeah.
But then there is this space where some of these magazines, they can't afford to be coming out monthly anymore. So they'll do these, like, and maybe this is what Goop was like quarterly or like twice a year. And then it's like a $25, and it's like really thick, and like the paper's too expensive.
It's
just
oversized. It doesn't fit on any of your shelves.
Fit on a shelf. It's like, who is this for? It feels like it's kind of, it's neither here nor there. I don't know who those magazines are for.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they should only be in like the lobby of Goop itself.
Yes.
Thank you. There's a brand aid. Yeah, I never saw one. They looked cool. I mean, they look exactly like you described it. A very fancy, expensive magazine with pictures of things that, if you look at it closely, look like a vagina. It's like, here's a cut fruit, looks like a vagina. Here's Gwyneth Paltrow standing by a bunch of things that look like a vagina.
Wow, she is like,
she loves that
Punani
vagina.
obsessed.
Yeah, we're almost at it.
Wow.
All I have to do is say 2020 brought the Goop Lab Netflix series.
Loved it.
Yeah, it got good reviews. There was one article I read where the writer was like, I went into this, I'll be honest, wanting to hate it, but it's a good show. It's helpful. My only critique, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is that it's only 30 minutes long. Like, I want it to be longer. Yeah. Gwyneth is great in it, and more power to her.
She came across as very down to earth and likable and had a sense of humor about herself. She wasn't like overly pretending to be an expert about things she didn't know about. She was just really super open-minded. And some of the things we learned, I still reference to this day, like the Wim Hof, the cold plunge guy. There was a lot of like little things that I still think about that I'm like, oh my gosh, I learned that from the Goop Lab show. So if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix, I assume still, and you're into kind of these wellness, and there's research to back all this stuff up, I think it's an interesting watch.
Yeah, and
it's
you
fun.
were a big fan of my friend Caitlin was in an episode.
There's an episode about psychics that had my jaw on the floor. No spoilers. And Jon, soon to be my best friend, Caitlin, is in the episode, prominently featured.
Yeah, I remember you talking about how much you like that. So yeah, great. Another success, another revenue stream for them. So with that and all the other things, they've just grown to be such a monstrous company from literally 4 years of just sending out a little newsletter to now they have clothes. They have, I think, a cruise. They have summits. They have...
Oh, the cruise is where you lose me.
Don't do a cruise.
Don't
the
do a
last
cruise.
thing any of us want is a cruise.
Which, that's funny because it's like, is that Goop's target demographic? Like cruise people? Let's just say if you're going to be on a cruise, you're going to be experiencing Goop. Okay, one way or another. Stomach viruses run rampant.
I read an article about someone, like a writer, who her assignment was go experience the Goop cruise, and
God.
it sounded miserable. Like
terrible.
Like I'm picturing like a Goop cruise or any cruise. The whole cruise is like decked out in all their branding and all this. It was like she made it seem like there was a little thing on your key card that was like part of Goop Club or whatever.
Wow.
Like it was just folded into whatever the existing cruise was.
And was Gwyneth stranded at sea with these 300 lunatics? Or was she not even there?
It's funny you asked that because when I was reading the description of it, it said includes a live conversation with Gwyneth.
That
and
feels
I didn't,
Skype. That feels
that
Skype.
feels Skype, right?
Yeah.
Skype. Skype.
It's Skype.
What year is it? Yeah, Skype. I don't know. One of them. But it did not feel like in the presence of great Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, let's just say you're not getting fireside.
Yeah, it's not a fireside chat.
Portside
I could
with
be
Gwyneth.
wrong. I'm not saying I know for sure, but a live conversation with Gwyneth does not feel like she's there.
No way.
Okay, so that's Goop. You can't talk about Goop or have a pod without Goop. There's literally podcasts that have hundreds of episodes just about Goop. We're 1 hour talking about Goop, so we're
Wow.
not going to hit everything, but you got to talk about some of the controversies.
Yes.
How can you not? You've got Goop and the vagina egg. Do you know anything about this
is
jade
a
egg?
A jade egg that she said women should hold in their vaginas and walk around their house as a way to
Pretend they're a chicken?
pretend they're a chicken.
Find a warm spot to lay it?
It's like a pelvic floor strengthening.
Right.
And I think it was deemed, correct me if I'm wrong, to be unsanitary.
Well,
the jade is porous. It will not be clean.
The crevices hold a lot of juices.
They hold a lot of chicken juice.
The problem with the jade egg was the claims that Goop initially made about it, that it could balance your hormones and regulate your menstrual cycles and improve bladder control, boost orgasms and regulate your periods. That's a lot of lifting for this jade egg in your vagina. And apparently it's not all accurate. I mean, sure, maybe as a placebo, you're going to have a better orgasm with this thing. It was kind of debunked. There was a lawsuit. If
you spend $90 on an egg, you're going to pretend a lot of things are improving.
You're in luck because right now it's on sale for $66.
Oh, add to cart.
I will say it is a final sale product.
Yikes, no returns.
There's no returns, but you can do payment plans.
Can Caitlin, are there any extra like loose jade eggs rolling around she can slip my way?
She's just got 14 eggs rolling around in her trunk.
No, maybe they could be in like an egg carton.
That would be a cute...
Okay, Brand-Aid.
Brand-Aid. You get like that material that's only egg carton material. You open it up, one beautiful jade egg. Before you insert the jade egg into your vagina, I want to tell you what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
These are the instructions for the jade egg. First, wash the jade egg with soap and water.
Love that.
Of course, that seems obvious. I don't quite understand why this is phrased this way. Place it in recently boiled water. Just say hot water. Recently boiled water. It doesn't say like...
Well, and also, recent isn't like...
a specific amount of time.
Exactly. It could say, boil water, let it cool, add the egg.
Boil water, let it sit for 5 minutes, add egg.
The egg should not be boiling hot, though.
No, you don't want it to still be boiling. Okay, then after you figure that out, insert the egg in your vagina gently and do your squeezing.
Which side first?
The fatter side.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have guessed.
The slightly bigger side.
Good point. Okay.
Okay, I'm glad we're going through this. When you're done...
I have to adjust my egg. Hang on. No, there you go. Now it's point side down. Oh, yeah, there it goes.
I was picturing you had like it falling out, and then Alistair adding like a thump sound.
Oh boy, I'm losing my egg.
Oh, here it comes. Here she comes. When you're done with your squeezes, be sure to wash your egg. And finally, and most important, put it somewhere special.
I'll probably just pop it in the dishwasher.
I'll toss it in the kids' crib. Let them play with it. So, there was a lawsuit over the egg. The lawsuit claimed that the eggs were not backed by evidence, including that they can do all the things that they said they do. Prosecutors argued that these claims were not supported by competent and reliable scientific evidence. And according to the suit, Goop is now banned from advertising any products without possessing competent and reliable scientific evidence.
Okay. This is almost like a kind of a metaphysical purchase. This is kind of like a little bit of a woo-woo purchase.
If you've got money for a vagina egg, you're in a different place than a lot of people.
But let's just say the claims made by like you go into a crystal shop. You say, I have a headache, my boyfriend hates me, and my foot hurts. And they go, we got crystals for you. And you're like, great, I'll buy them. You don't like sue the crystal shop because those don't work. That's like the point of these
crystal shops don't have
things.
Money. You sue a company that has Gwyneth Paltrow at the helm.
It just feels so silly to believe that somebody who bought this egg is like, I thought this would regulate my period. My hormones are out of control. My thyroid is it's like, why did you go to an egg?
They didn't go to an egg. They went to Gwyneth Paltrow. That's the whole point of this conversation.
As somebody who's bought spooky, silly, crystally things before, I would never expect them to actually work. Right? That's what I think the mutual understanding is from like the jade egg seller and the jade egg buyer is like, wouldn't that be cool if that worked? Well, it's still something fun to buy.
So yeah, there's the egg thing. I won't go into the other ones, but there was bee sting therapy, which they promote, and a woman died from it. I don't know if the woman learned about it from Goop, so I'm not blaming that on them, but they're promoting something that can have very negative effects, such as vaginal steaming can have a lot of adverse effects. There's just enough of these things where you're like, hey, okay. What are we doing here? I'll eat your salad. I'll make your biscuits. But have a little confidence if you're telling me to steam my vagina.
She shouldn't be advising anybody to do anything dangerous, but
No.
everything else is just kind of like lightly spooky and metaphysical. Take with a grain of salt.
Even the candle that smells like her vagina, that's okay. The way that came about, I
Yeah.
mean, apparently they were just kind of joking around. She was with a perfumer named Douglas Little. They're putting fragrances together. I'm sure they're smelling a bunch of things. She made a joke, wow, that smells like my vagina. He's like, wow, that's brilliant. Let's call it that. Of course, it sells out immediately. It's still sold out. I looked to see if we could get one. We can't. And to be fair, she's saying that her vagina smells like geranium, bergamot, cedar, rose, and some sort of ambrette seed. Oh, I wrote more jokes.
Oh, great.
And then we're almost done. On this one, I was saying it would be funny. Let's see. I didn't really phrase how the joke would go, but this is what my process.
Okay, so we're talking about the vagina candle.
We're talking about the Apple product of vagina candles is Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle. That's only going to lead to knockoff vagina candles.
Oh, okay.
What would those smell like? Like the Old Navy version of a vagina candle. What's that going to smell like? Like just a sad vagina?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Smells like khakis. Wet denim. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Denim and trout.
Jesus.
Sorry. Okay. Another thing that Goop has become kind of notorious for, and I think Neiman Marcus did this, is now every year they've got this ridiculous but awesome gift guide. Are you familiar with this?
Yes.
Okay. So some of the things in this gift guide, this is what I think you're talking about with the tongue-in-cheek stuff. This year, some of the items that you could purchase was a 24-karat gold G-Spot vibrator for $15,000.
Oh, my God. Is it a car with like a hot dog glued to it?
Wait, you want the Wienermobile for
so.
$15,000?
I was thinking of like, if for $15,000, you should be able to drive it to work. Stick a hot dog on the sea. There we go.
Just a tiny little gold thing that's guaranteed to make you feel like $1 million.
That's wild.
Oh, and this made me mad. It was listed as one size fits all, which, as you know, I prefer a most to be in there.
Or you will sue.
Or I will sue. They have a chunk of cheese for $400, a Louis Vuitton baby wardrobe for $73,000.
And things like this, I don't even know if they actually exist.
Sell them. I know. That's how I felt about the Neiman Marcus thing.
Yeah, it almost feels like a
or
joke.
There's one.
It's like an art concept in and of itself.
They had a Fiji island rental. Rent the whole island. $39,500 for the night. 3-night minimum.
Don't people live there?
Sure, it's just a resort.
Oh, like you rent the whole island of Fiji, including everybody who lives there.
You get to own people for a weekend? No, but she did. I
Nights.
didn't look this up, but I don't know if you remember last year, she did a collab with Airbnb. So for a weekend, a couple could Airbnb her Montecito home.
Wow.
And they come there, and part of that was having dinner with her.
That's pretty fun.
We should have done that.
Yeah.
If she does that again this year, Al,
Can we bid?
can we do that?
Company dime?
Daddy, thank you. So yeah, there's just a bunch of those things. They had a Hermes doghouse for $2,000. Just a lot.
Exactly. You can't let stuff like that like make you feel bad because you can't afford an Hermes
No.
doghouse. It's just like, why would you want to? Who cares? If some people are so stupid to spend that much of their money on a baby wardrobe, let them do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, none of that stuff doesn't make me mad at all.
It's medium rich people that make us mad.
Oh my God. I hate medium rich people. I don't even know what that means, but I'm so mad right now.
Right.
Have you ever had Goop food? Like you can order Goop food.
I'm dying to try Goop food.
You would love it. Every time I go to my friend Leah's house, they don't have like restaurants. They have ghost kitchens where I guess a bunch of places will cook out of the same kitchen.
And so it's all like to go order or delivery.
Yeah. And like the Goop menu, there's like 3 different menus. There's like a pizza menu. There's like a Mediterranean menu. It's so good. The food is so, so good.
Which is like why is that shocking? I don't know. That's kind of surprising for some reason.
That it's good?
Yeah.
It has fun packaging. I don't know if it's sustainable packaging. I'm assuming it is, but
Yeah.
it's like everything comes in its own little compartment and this and that. And
I'd love to try it. Is that just in LA or other cities they have Goops
I
too?
don't know. I think we have 3 here in LA.
Wow.
So I don't know if it is. I could see it being in New York, but I highly recommend that. And that also comes from her father. She said her father not only taught her how to cook, but gave her like a love of food. So it's all tied in to that, which that's okay with me. I'm constantly, thinking about my parents' mortality, and we all have different feelings about that.
Yeah.
One of the last things that I found about it, she at some point wants to sell her stake in Goop and disappear from the public life forever.
That's the opposite of having a cruise.
Yeah. She says she doesn't seem to care that much about fame. And I do think she cares about fortune, because all this stuff, when you come down to it, is money-making endeavors. But, people do that for their kids, too. Like, they're setting up to make sure that she has 2 children.
Got to take care of Apple.
We'll
be happy to take her place as the faces of Goop.
Yeah. Everyone wants to look like me. Nobody knows how many times we had to pause for me to burp during this episode. I definitely should be the face of Goop. Jug. Jug is perfect for me. I definitely should have a lifestyle brand called Jug. A little rough around the edges.
A little gassy.
The J is just like a bouncy J. Everything's bouncy.
Okay. A little sweaty.
So yeah, one thing that kind of was going through my head the whole time I was researching Goop is that I do believe that it's kind of a case study for there is no such thing as bad press. People have slammed her for 15 years. They've slammed the company, the things they're throwing at them. They've sued them, and they're worth $250 million and have millions of followers. It's like, whatever they're doing, it's for somebody.
Yeah. So whatever she had that was kind of controversy, it wasn't like there was actually, even the lawsuit, not a true scandal, not anything she did that was like obviously corrupt or evil. It was just kind of people's impression of her. Like either you think she's annoying or you don't, and that is so subjective, and that can like change all the time, like depending on like how the PR cycle is like favoring her or not. I think at the end of the day, she seems fine. I think she's kind of funny. I really liked her show on Netflix.
Yeah, we should watch that. Did you watch them all?
I watched them all, and I was like, I wish there were more. I want a season 2. They were great.
I wonder why they didn't do more.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about her, like her skincare line. I know it's all very expensive, but I don't have any ill feelings about Goop, and I do want to try this Mediterranean bowl. Maybe go on a cruise. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we'll do the 9-day cruise. So yeah, that's what I have about Goop. I'm kind of leaving it with kind of what I went into it with. I feel like it's a company that probably does have a lot of good intentions, maybe made some missteps. Maybe some of those missteps were intentional to get media. I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow is a bad person. I think my friend Caitlin's a lovely person. She's such a good cook. So I'm leaving just as content with Goop as I came to it with. Even maybe a little more so knowing like the father thread.
Yeah, I love that. And maybe people listening, maybe if you felt negatively about Gwyneth, this is giving you a little more context.
Yeah.
Because as Gwyneth said, we don't want any more negativity in the world.
Right.
For our sad lives.
For our sad lives. You just don't get it, you sad middle rich person or whatever it was. So yeah,
that's
there you
great.
go.
Thank you so much. What a fun rundown.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you again for listening to the show. If you love the show, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out. Leave us a positive review. No negative reviews. We're watching our number 4.7.
We want a 4.8.
We're dying for a 4.8. Help us get up there. If you have a brand you want us to discuss or any thoughts on Goop, we would love to hear from you. Over on Instagram, you can see video clips from the show, and we love to hear from you guys there.
And TikTok.
And TikTok, that's right. A very robust TikTok curated by Jon. We'll be back next week with an all-new episode of On Brand.
And our 4th attempt at trying to find a permanent sign-off for the show comes from Chris Trotman. On Brand, signing off.
See ya.
Bye.
Are you feeling stuck in your career or lacking employment at the moment? Experiencing symptoms of job dissatisfaction? You might be suffering from a common condition known as career stagnation. But don't worry, there's a solution. Monster.com. Monster.com offers a comprehensive suite of career-boosting tools designed just for you. Our free resume review and AI interview prep tool will help you stand out from the crowd. Need more guidance? Dive into our career advice articles for expert tips and insights. And don't forget to check out our salary tools to ensure you're getting paid what you're worth. Side effects may include a new job, increased confidence, and a brighter future. Consult Monster.com today and take the first step towards your new career. Ready for your next job opportunity? Visit Monster.com now.